Sensation not only back at you, but back on the hunt. We got a busy day on the road today. We're gonna get it started right now. That's right, when you got a busy day on the road, start it early. So that's what we're gonna do, because we got a 39-minute ride to start the day off on the hunt. All right, we got the first one in the back secured, and we smoked a deal on it. $80 marketplace find, and I'll show it to you when we get back to the house, but I'm really happy about this one. All right, we're back, and here is our marketplace find. We even got these real pretty LED strips. Nope, nobody ever liked those. So here's what we're looking at. It's a 980 actually. So Samsung 980 NVMe drive. Look at that processor. We got some bent pins on that thing. I ain't even kidding you. Yeah, there's thermal paste on it. Might even be a hair coat on there that ain't mine. I should probably have gloves on, but I don't. I don't think there's no fixing it. And we got pins bent everywhere. But who knows, right? I think that's dog fur actually from where I got it from. But here's the case. I don't know what kind of case it is. It looks a lot like a Rosewell case that I had, but I don't think it is. It's an Intermax is what it says. It's got stickers all over it. I believe it might even be cracked there or scratched. There's all your USB ports at the top. This thing is definitely busted. It's cracked down the middle, if you can see it there. You'll be able to see it in a minute because I'll open it up. There you go. She busted right down the center. Which is fine. I mean, with budget builds, right? They took one of the fans from the front, moved it to the top, but we have an AM4 B550 ASRock board right there. And we have one stick of memory in it. Let's see what that is. It is ballistics, actually. So that's good, right? How many gigabits is it, though? I don't know. Why doesn't it say? Why doesn't it say how many gigabytes it is? Why do they make RAM and don't put that on the sticker? Oh, I think it might be a 16 actually. We'll see though. Because we're going to put a CPU in it and boot it up. This isn't all we got. So it's not just a case and a hard drive and a motherboard here. Alright, we're back at it. We got 4 fans in it. The back plate is on it. It did have Wi-Fi, but no antennas. There's that Corsair RM650 hiding in there. Not mounted in there like it should be, though. Shoved in the basement sideways, so we'll get the back panel off, get that straightened out and hooked up. And we'll just try hooking everything up, and we'll throw a CPU in here, and we'll see if we can, we'll see if we got a good motherboard out of this deal. Where did they run that fan wire to? How did they even put a graphics card in this thing? I don't know. The stuff that you get from people, that's for something. Who knows? Probably mounts in there for a hard drive mount or something. That's a Corsair RGB controller, though. That's nice. I don't have the plug that goes on the other end, obviously. Maybe we'll find it in here. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to find, but we're going to go set it up on our test bench. That memory was in the wrong slot too, so good luck getting it to post that way, but we'll set it up on our test bench, put our 2600X in here, throw a graphics card in it, and let's just see if the thing boots up. I mean, let's see if we got at least got a working system for $80 here today. All right, we're literally bolting a power supply in it. It had every cable off of it. And I ran this fan cable back through, and I'm dropping screws and everything, so just bear with me. And I haven't been feeling good again either, so if you hear me coughing a little bit, that's because allergies are literally tearing a guy up, and I ain't even kidding you. I wanted to do this, go ahead and get the power supply remounted back in it so it wasn't flopping around. We still got to hook all the cables up. I'm not gonna worry about all these fans and stuff yet, or all this mess of wires here, because we can always jump the board to get it started. You guys and gals know that. I'm gonna go ahead and get the cables ran about where they need to go. I don't know what I'm gonna do on the CPU cable. This case is not cut out for one. There's a cutout in the corner, but the motherboard being in the way is kind of gonna break that one. And we're gonna hook up our, I might just run the cable a different way for now. I'll have to run it whatever way it'll reach, obviously, but all we want to do is test to see if it'll work, right? So that's what we're going to work on now. I'm going to set you up on a tripod because we're about to flip this over as soon as I can figure out what I'm going to do with our CPU plug. All right, I give you the bird's eye view here. The bird's eye view is when you're looking overhead, and it's nice that I put those screws back in. We got all kinds of mismatched screws in this motherboard, so we're just going to pretend like they're all the same thread. Look like fine thread so far. I'm doing this so I can run the CPU power feed. There's one little cutout in that corner, and you're not going to do it with the motherboard. Alright, you know me. I'm going to put you on live before I fire these things up in case things smoke and flame out. Alright, power switch on. Keyboard flashed for a second. Means we're feeding power to the board. The graphics card fit in there like crap, but so is everything else. If you get in a Webster dictionary, look up the worst PC case ever. It'll have a picture of this one. Alright, here we go. Well, we got fans spinning and no smoke so far, but will we post? That's the million-dollar question. I got red lights, 2 of them on the board, and she stopped at that. If this motherboard's bad, I'm going to be pissed off. We got our 2600X in here. We know it's good. Alright, it shut off, so maybe it's going to reset. Let's see here. Maybe it did a CMOS reset. I got nothing on the keyboard or mouse yet. No USB activity. 2 red lights at the top of the motherboard. I don't know. Could it be a memory issue? I'm going to let it run and shut itself off again. Back on again. I don't know. I feel like there's a couple more lights up there. That maybe it's getting power in the CPU light. Okay, we ain't doing nothing, so maybe it's the memory. I don't know. That's what we're going to try real quick here. Let's take the ballistics out of there. I really, really, really don't want this to be a bad motherboard. I'm telling you guys and gals what. That'll be like the 3rd or 4th AMD board I bought that's bad. And I am not going to be happy if that happens. I'm going to hold the power button down and clear it all out real good. That memory there I know works. I don't know that this setup's going to like it or not, but I think it will. We've immediately got 2 red lights in that corner. Oh, there we go. It's cycling through now, so let's see what we do. Well, I hear the fan picking up, but we're still not posting. The lights are flashing. Now it calmed down. There's the keyboard. We posted. CyberPower PC is what it says. And it appears that it is a CyberPower, so let's delete, and hopefully the delete key will get us into the BIOS and we can change our boot device. I think I have Windows 11 on this. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing now. There we go. We're showing 16 gigs of DDR4 at 2666, a Ryzen 5 2600X at 3600 megahertz. So everything's showing all right there. There's an overclock tweaker, advanced tool. Oh, CPU temperature 36.5 degrees right now. Celsius, motherboard's at 31, so all that looks good. Boot, the first one we're going to change. Not to the 1 terabyte. We want the UEFI partition 1. So we're going to go with that. And we're going to hit probably F10 to save everything. We're going to click yes there. We're going to let it reboot into our installer. And we're going to, I mean, we're a graphics card short, but it's got all the fans and stuff here. We're going to be able to build us a budget gaming PC out of this to flip. Alright, we got Windows 11 installing now. It's about 75% on this part of it. Then it's got to go to the other part, which is usually pretty quick on a modern system with an NVMe drive in it. So we do got our 1 terabyte Samsung Evo drive formatted, so we got all the previous owner stuff off of it wiped. I don't like booting into someone else's Windows because I just want to get the drives cleaned, because you don't know what's on there. And when you don't know what's on there, clean the drive good. That's a fact. But this is turning out to be a pretty darn good build. We got RGB going on. You know how much I really don't care about that, but oh, look at that. We're in the next phase of the Windows install. These fans are just a zinging in here. That's because there's not enough fan headers to plug the son of a guns in on the motherboard. And we got them plugged into Molex connectors, which sucks even worse. But we are going into our Windows install. I wanted to turn you guys back on to check it out. I put the R9 280X in it for now, because we'll do a little bench testing with it to make sure the hard drive and everything's stable in it. But we had to add the memory to it, so that's a 16 gig of my stick of RAM in there. We added the Ryzen 5 2600X. We added the R9 280 now just for testing. And what else did we add? That was it. CPU and the memory stick. We got the hard drive with the $80 buy, the motherboard. All the RGB fans and hubs were in here, and the LED strip. Jeez, I'm not crazy about the RGBs. You guys know that. Wiring mess in the back we inherited. We did get the 650 watt RM650X Corsair power supply, and we got enough cables to run the SATA, the Molexes, whatever you want to do, right? This is new. I have never seen this before. I'm gonna turn you back on for it. I plugged the after I got signed in and everything, it'll usually go right into Windows, right? So I plugged in the Ethernet, and it immediately went to this page, and it says your update is in progress. This could take a while. Please keep your PC on and plugged in. Is this a feature update? Tell me if you've ran into this, because on Windows 11 this is the first time that I have seen this do this. See you in a bit. If the update isn't done, it's okay to step away. We'll take care of the rest. Be sure that your PC is plugged in. We're only at 4% now, step 1 of 3. So there it is. I've never seen this page come up on the updating process. I'm going to bet you it might even be a feature update. Maybe we're not on 24H2. Are we on a new version of Windows 11 that I don't know about yet? That's the thing. Maybe you haven't seen it yet either, but my PC, this one that I did the fresh install on, just did it. after we got the install done. And the best part is I just downloaded that copy of Windows yesterday. I downloaded it when I sold my, let me get you straight. You guys are crooked. Look at that. I'll get you straightened back out. I've been having problems getting my tripod to sit right. It's only got 3 legs. If it had 2, it would sit perfectly there. No, I'm just kidding. It might. I don't know. Bicycling, right? I'm not funny today. We're going to get this thing updated. It's going to be a slow, tedious process. I mean, we're literally at 6% now, so that's just going to be a slow, tedious process. Alright, we have got everything installed, and I'm tired of knocking these panels down on the back of my leg. It's driving me nuts. So, about the 50th time I did it. I don't have any lights but the one behind me on. So we're going to start this test right here, fast forward you through it, and let's see what we got here. Tell you what, not a bad score right there. 1837. 1050 on that CPU, 244 on the GPU, 303 on the storage, and 240 on the memory. And that's only one stick of 16 gig in there. That 1 terabyte 980 does real good though on the read and write. This graphics card's not saying in it. The 2060 is gonna up that score, I'm sure, so we'll hit close to 2000 on it. That's gonna score us pretty good. Percentile wise, we'll take a look at that real quick like we always do. It puts us in ranks higher than 69% of all systems tested. We're green all the way down, no bottlenecking, no temperature problems or nothing. So all of that looks good on our $80 marketplace buy today. So that's awesome. Only one more test to do right now. That's going to be Heaven Benchmark. So we're going to go ahead and fire that up real quickly. And we're going to agree to that you could damage your system doing this. And we're going to leave it on the high settings because we scored nice and high. But we got the R9 280X, which has some age on it now and is not the top of the line graphics card, that's for sure. But it'll still get it done on an old benchmark like Heaven. So we're going to go ahead and run that. And we definitely know that our 2600X isn't going to bottleneck that graphics card any. Frames look pretty decent so far, so let's go ahead and hit the benchmark, fast forward you, and then we'll close this thing out. Alright, we weren't expecting it to break the bank. It went a 3142 for a score, 124.7 average, 9.3 on the low FPS, 233.8 on the high. That is not bad for a graphics card that's well over 10 years old. When we're talking about the R9 280X, it's definitely got its age on it, and its age is showing. But that is not too bad whatsoever. So we're going to close this out. Got our bench testing done on it. I'm happy with it. 1837, better than 69% on Nova Bench. I'll take that any day of the week. For $80, I mean, come on. Did we have to put some work into it? Yes. Did we have to put a CPU we already had on hand in it? We did. That's the 2600X right there. We had to put a stick of memory we had laying around here. I'm not going to give up on the ballistic that I took out of it. We'll test it again, and we may even try it in a different system. We're going to go over it real quick though, because you haven't really seen it since I hooked up the beautiful LED and the RGB fan lights. And yes, it does need a cleaning, but it's probably going to get taken apart to get that done. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and gals. It just ain't going to be in this video, because this video is clearly about going over the hunt, the find, and that's what we got. We have the top, or the front, or the top USBs hooked up. I haven't tested the audio to see if they work. I'll have to do that still. So we have our front USB 3 hooked up, our front audio hooked up. You see we had enough power express, PCI Express stuff on this power supply. Unlike my 750 Corsair, we had enough on this one to go ahead and hook our dual pin on the graphics card up. And I don't like how the CPU power had to be ran. We had to run it across the top, so we're going to zip tie that a little bit nicer to keep it kind of tucked back to the back and out of the way. Other than that though, the CPU cooler can stay. Those Ryzen coolers do a pretty good job, so I got no reason to replace it. So the 3500 or 3600 CPU right here, it's a generation better, but I don't know if I can straighten this out, guys and gals. I'll take a look at it, and maybe we'll mess around with it and try to straighten them, but this thing, she is pretty bent up. So, and I see, just looking down that slide, I see several bent pins. There's some in the middle right there down that row. But I have a little bit of a system where I'll take a little pick and I'll go down each row and try to stand them back up if they're not too far bent. I'll take a look at it with a magnifying glass, and I'll give it a fair shot. I got a lot of other stuff going on though. I got to pick some other stuff up. And I just got messaged by one of the stops I'm doing. So it looks like everything's going to be on time for that one and this one. This one's done. It's not done. I got more work to do. I'm going to pick up a graphics card for it hopefully today. And then we'll get the wiring straightened out, obviously, and we'll build our budget flip right here. So we're into it right now for $80. Everything that I needed was on hand here. So we're into it now for 80 bucks. If I put $100 on a graphics card today, then obviously we're into it for 180. We can flip it for 250 to 300 all day long anyway. We're probably 250 on this one. So we can flip it and make money on it. We're not going to make a ton on it, but that's what budget flips are about anyway. I just buy the stuff for content now. When I buy it, I'll shoot a price on the thing, and it's basically for content. So let me know. I mean, we got the bent pins on this CPU, so it was included. We got a AM4 B550 motherboard. We got 16 gigs of RAM. It didn't work, so we can't confirm that it works. And we got the 650 watt Corsair power supply, the Corsair fans, and of course the CyberPower PC. So did we do okay for $80? Let me know in the comment section. That's gonna do it for the video. I love going on these hunts, and you guys and gals know that. That's one of my favorite things to do. I'm going on 2 more hunts today. I'm going to go on one at 2:30 and then one at 5:15. So we're going to see what we can pull out of each one of those hunts. And then I'll show you when we're testing parts again. But hopefully we can score us a graphics card for this budget build today, because I'm pretty sure that's all I need to get this thing ready to go. I may not leave that 980 Samsung drive in there. I might swap that out with one of my other 500 gig drives, since it's a budget build and we could use that. We could use that 1 terabyte and something else. That's a really good hard drive. That hard drive alone was worth the $80 in my opinion. If you were pricing stuff out, those things, that is not a cheap hard drive. That 980 Samsung 1 terabyte's not a cheap drive. And it scores real good on Nova Bench too. So I'll probably swap that out with a 500 gig Intel drive that I got and my Alienware. And speaking of the Alienware, Aurora R7, she's right there. I don't have the power supply for it yet, but I'm picking that up today too, probably. But I'm getting Discord installed on it now. So that's what you see opened up. I got to download the Discord and install that right now. But I may be racing on this one tonight. We have the Turtle Beach set up right there with our second racing rig. We might be racing on it tonight. I want to see how that Alienware Aurora R7, which has got the 8700K, does in the racing. How much RAM did I put in this one? I think it's only got 16 gigs in it. So let me look that up real quick. You're still on the tripod and I'm kind of holding you up, but I just want to see how much RAM we got in it. 24 gigs actually. That's right, I was going to order a stick from Amazon to make this 32. But we're going to test that tonight on iRacing. Yes, I can't see where this is going to fail. Right. Like, comment, subscribe. It's free to do. Love to see the way the channel's growing. Love bringing this content to you. I'm going to keep going out and making these marketplace finds. I'm going to keep hunting. I'm going to stay on the hunt. How's that? Thank you once again. It's been another fun one, another great SimSation production, and we will catch you on the very next one, which is going to be pretty quickly, but we'll catch you then. All right, we're going to put this computer, well, I got the computer in the form that I wanted in to flip it. So that's an RTX 2060. That's the thick one too. It's got the really thick cooler on it. It's an EVGA card, so it's a really good one. 32 gigs of RAM sitting in there now. So I did pick this stuff up from the young lady today. I bought 4 RAM sticks, 64, and I dropped one in their yard. So I got to go back and get that. I'll tell you, sometimes I am a hot mess. And thank you, Brianne. I know that you're probably going to get tired of me, but I promise you that I will quit aggravating you as soon as I quit forgetting stuff. Oh, I feel like an idiot sometimes, but that is going to, I mean, as far as doing the cable management, cleaning this thing up, I'm pretty sure that we got us a nice little build here, and it's going to make somebody a really good little gaming computer. So I need to put one I/O shield in here. I'm going to run NovaBench because we can compare the results from the 16 gigs of RAM and the R9 280X to the 32 gigs of RAM now with the RTX 2060 Super. So the other thing that I want to add to this video is I'm going to fix this CPU. I'm going to try my best to fix it, and I'm going to do it on camera. So I'm going to set the tripod up, try to get a good lighted situation. We're going to grab a razor blade, and we're going to do our best to try to straighten this thing out and just see if we can make it work. What do we got to lose at this point, right? We got the 2600X in there now. It works fine. So it scores good on NovaBench. The 2600X still holds up pretty good in gaming. So we got nothing to lose trying to fix the 3600. I mean, that's the way I look at it. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I have just a little bit of time, and I got to buzz out of here to do my last deal today. 3 deals today, 3 of them, okay? I got 2 of them done. The other thing that I picked up today when I got the RAM and the GPU was I picked up a green screen, an Elgato green screen. Thank you. That young lady she's been tremendous. It's just a pleasure meeting her and finding her on Marketplace of all places, and it worked out great for me. That's all I can say, is that it's worked out great. And we're getting almost to the end of this test, so we're going to be able to see what kind of difference we made, and we're going to see what the final result of this build is going to be. 32 gigs of RAM. Look at that. We went from 1837 with the R9 280X in the 16 gigs of RAM up to 2016. We've got a 369 on our GPU, 311 on our memory, 305 on the storage, and a 1031 there. So we were at 69% before. This system ranks higher than 73% of all systems tested. So there it is. Power consumption and a little bit of stutter, it says. So we'll have to look into that. But all in all, might have just been the drivers just being installed or something. I'll run the test again to see if it was an anomaly. That's what we'll go with. But that's it. I mean, I'll add this into the video. But that is going to do it on the build, other than getting it cleaned up and the cable management done. And add an I/O shield back there. This build is done. It's done with the hardware. And it come out really good. We got our RGB fans working. We can put the hub in there, I guess, and download the software, but because we got LED strips, one color, and we got multiple array of colors going on in there. So that's it. I'll add this one in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.